Coming up on Mountain News this morning, folks gathered in Frankfort to learn more about child abuse prevention in the Commonwealth. And government leaders are cracking down on airlines' cancellation policies as summertime approaches.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We are just a few minutes past 6:30 on Thursday, April 25th. Now let's send it over to meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
Good morning, Olivia. Gorgeous sunrise as we look out to the east and southeast here from WYMT, and 41 temperature-wise, seasonably cool. Now down to 35 at Irvin. 39 at Pikeville, over your way at Clintwood. It's 41 at Wise, 37 at Ashland. Make your way back out to the west and southwest. London at 44, Monticello at 46. Not much to show you regarding the satellite weather composite. You can see that on the web cameras this morning. Just a few patchy clouds from time to time. And the flow of air coming in from the north and west. And if you liked the feel to the air yesterday afternoon, guess what? You're going to love the feel to the air this afternoon. Check it out. Sunny to partly cloudy as we head through the day today, and a high this afternoon up to 70 in Hazard. How about the weekend? Between now and then, we may have to deal with some showers. We'll explain. Your first alert 7-day forecast is coming up in just a few moments. Olivia?
Tim, thank you. Yesterday, the Kentucky River Health Consortium gathered together at the Perry County Public Library for an event called Picking Up the Pieces, an effort to make a difference in the lives of folks throughout the Kentucky River region. I went to the event to learn more about their efforts. A day focused around connecting the community and having hard conversations. An event called Picking Up the Pieces, focused on breaking down barriers surrounding drug and alcohol abuse.
I think one of the things that we need to understand is people don't wake up in the morning and say, hey, I want to be addicted to something. You know, we have lots of chronic disease in our region diabetes, for an example. If you have diabetes, you need insulin or you need medication to treat that.
Giving loved ones advice on how to help. Bringing several entities together through the Kentucky River Health Consortium.
Not many of us have got someone in our family that has not been through the trials of addiction. So what can we learn from each other? How can we help each other? How can we support each other during those times?
Discussing topics such as Casey's Law and hearing from family members fighting for solutions. And one man named Andrew shared his own story and what saved his life.
Casey's Law saved my life. My family saved my life. Because most importantly, none of them ever gave up on me. It doesn't matter. Spent a decade being horrific as a person.
Connecting the health sector with the community to find real solutions that people like Andrew know can make a difference. And we have a link to some of the organizations that offer help in this story on our website, WYMT.com, and on the WYMT News app. As Child Abuse Prevention Month continues, folks in fields focused on child protection met in Frankfort yesterday for an abuse prevention summit. Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky Executive Director Jill Seafrid says social workers, law enforcement, mental health workers, and more were in attendance, focusing on topics like fatherhood, electronic crime against children, and punishment.
Really just an opportunity to grow both individually in the work that we do, but collectively throughout the state of Kentucky.
Attorney General Russell Coleman was also there, highlighting the work these professionals do. This marks the first summit of this kind in Frankfort, and those with Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky say they hope to host more in the future. One woman died after a medical emergency during the Redbud ride in Laurel County over the weekend. We are told Cammie Creech and her husband both participated in the ride. Creech was 54 years old, an animal lover, and was a receptionist at Paws and Claws in London. People who knew Creech want others to remember how she lived her life.
She she had such a passion for life. I mean, she was that girl that she has to just help you. You know, we had clients come in and it was like she had a passion for those pets that come in, and you know, she's that person that's here, let me help you with your pet, let me help you whatever you need done. Yeah.
Creech's visitation and funeral is today at House Rawlings Funeral Home. Members of the biking community are among those expected to pay their respects. 2 people are okay after a train hit their SUV in Knox County. It happened at the crossing near Highway 225 and Factory Road in the Artemis community. No serious injuries were reported, but a woman and a 2-year-old child were taken to the hospital as a precaution. The driver of the SUV told deputies she did not hear the train, and the train's engineer said he did not see the vehicle until it was too late. Things will soon be easier for air travelers due to new rules the Department of Transportation announced today. The DoD unveiled a new policy for airlines canceling or delaying flights. WYMT's Washington News Bureau reporter Brendan Cullerton spoke to Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg.
The Department of Transportation says airlines will be required to provide cash refunds for canceled or significantly delayed flights. They believe that will provide financial incentive for airlines to avoid those issues.
This is a big day for America's flying public.
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says, in theory, airline customers are owed a refund for a canceled or significantly delayed flight.
In practice, it often doesn't work that way. We hear again and again from passengers who describe how hard they have to push just to get the refunds that are owed to them.
The new rule is an airline must refund payment to the card that paid for the flight within 7 days without requiring any action from the passenger. The refund must be made to whatever payment was used and cannot be paid out in miles or points unless requested by the passenger. The rule applies to flights that are canceled, domestic flights delayed at least 3 hours, and international flights delayed at least 6 hours.
The biggest expansion of passenger rights in the department's history.
The DOT will also require price transparency, forcing airlines to disclose baggage, change, and cancellation fees up front. Those fees must also be shared with third parties.
Healthy competition requires that as a consumer, you comparison shop, which means knowing the real price of a trip before and not after you buy.
The refund rule will take effect in 6 months. The fee transparency rules will begin phasing in 6 months. In Washington, I'm Brendan Cullerton.
A good Thursday to you. Temperature-wise, not too bad. It's seasonably cool outside the door this morning. Mid and upper 30s, lower 40s, a touch warmer as you make your way out toward Wayne County and Pulaski County. Mid 40s, Laurel County to London Corbin Airport at 44. Not much to locally show you. A few patchy clouds, but nonetheless, nothing's really going to diminish sunshine by any means today. If you loved yesterday afternoon, you will love this afternoon. And with this flow of air continuing to come in from the north and west, great feel to the air again today. You'll need the visor down to a point and the sunglasses close by, if not styling as you end up doing the 10 and 2 position, driving around into work and school. Sunny to partly cloudy today and a high in hazard up to 70. All right, we got to talk about a shower risk and the humidity coming back into play, not just for a brief visit. We'll explain. Your first alert 7-day forecast coming up in just a few moments. Olivia?
Thanks, Tim, and thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:42. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. Students on campuses across the nation continue to take a stand on the war on Israel.